I heard you're a very talented sculptor. Is that true?
Oh, I don't know. I wouldn't want to blow my own trumpet.
Honestly, even though Kasharawar is best known for its focus on mechanics, plenty of Kasharawar scholars are quite serious about sculpting as a hobby. So if they rate your work, that's enough for us. We just...
Who's we?
Myself and a few other scholars. Kashif, Daneshvar, come take a look.
Oh, well, if you insist, I suppose there's no harm in showing you.
Whoa! Where did that come from?
Look at the level of detail. It's so lifelike. The squirrel descends from the heavens like a champion, and the earth trembles beneath its feet.
Kaveh? Kaveh, come here for a sec. Oh, and Madame Faruzan, didn't you used to study in our darshan?
All right, but hang on a moment.
You called? What is it, youngster?
This squirrel statue. Isn't it cute?
Oh, a squirrel. I wouldn't say cute per se. The realism is what stands out to me.
Oh, a hero? I suppose so. Actually, I didn't really have a specific theme in mind.
I see. Well, do you tend to read novels about heroes in your spare time?
As a matter of fact, I do quite enjoy those. Everyone loves a good tale of daring do, right?
Then perhaps this statue represents the heroic tale you long to see deep down inside. Also on the subject of heroism, I feel that if the subject posed with a finger raised towards the heavens, it would lend a greater gravitas to the overall image. I'm sure some would call it cliché or old-fashioned, but not me. I think it would be a perfect fit. Kaveh!
Sorry, Madame Faruzan, I'm a little busy right now. Don't wait up for me.
What a pity. That young man has excellent aesthetic tastes. I was hoping to ask him for his opinion.
What a genius idea! Why didn't I think of that? Classical beauty is a great direction to explore. That's it. Once I get back, I'm going to sculpt a heroic squirrel pointing its finger towards the sky.
Precisely. A declaration of victory. You understand my vision. Then place the two statues face to face.
Yes! That's exactly what I was thinking.
It'll be a masterpiece. Miss... I'm sorry. I didn't catch your name.
Just call me Nicole.
What? Oh, no. That wouldn't be right.
Why ever not? Madam is a state of mind cultivated from within. Anyone may call me Madam if they so desire. My dear Miss Nicole, once we make it through these trying times, should we have the pleasure of meeting again, I shall look forward to seeing your new work. In this day of age, it's rare to find people with an appreciation for classical aesthetics. Meeting you was truly a pleasant surprise.
Honestly, I feel the same way. It's been a long time since I met anyone interested in this style of statue. Clearly, they don't call you Madam for nothing. Also, I have to say, you're a very good judge of character. Because when I think about it, I really am someone who likes stories about heroes. That must be why I've quietly kept watch over generation after generation of them.
Sorry, keeping watch over heroes? What exactly do you do for a living?
Oh, never mind that.
Let's not tell Madame Faruzan about Miss Nicole's true identity.
Good idea. Let's limit the conversation to aesthetics.
Let's not tell Madame Faruzan about Miss Nicole's true identity for now.
Good idea. Let's limit the conversation to aesthetics.
What's wrong? You look like Kale got a fragment of the Goddess of Flowers. And all I got was one of the 7 pillars who served under King Deshret.
That's what you're upset about?
Oh,
Oh, so many books. More than I could ever read in my life. But I've learned a lot that the textbooks could never teach me. I never realized that people in the distant past thought about some of the same questions we ponder today.
Paimon! Thanks again for your notes. I'm done copying them, so here you go. You're welcome! Just let Paimon know if you ever need help again.
I hope everyone's ready. We'll be arriving at our destination very shortly.
Why, we've not seen so many visitors ever, really. What is this place now, a tourist attraction? Ah, closer inspection reveals many familiar faces. To what do we dusty old fellows owe the honor? Surely you're not just here to chat.
You surmise correctly. We are here to carry out a rather enormous project.
Ho, enormous, you say? How large, then? Larger than the gaping void in our lives? Why, you've even put a smile on Goatee and Croco's faces. I know that laugh. Lilipar? What on earth are you doing here?
Oh, this is hilarious. Turns out good things really do come to those who wait. When did you three get locked up in here? And still you act all high and mighty, putting on a show for the younglings. Truly hysterical.
Why, you... Yes, I know, no need to shout. But didn't King Deshret seal you away? How did you break free, and how did you get in here?
Who knows? Perhaps you can ask my master one day, should you ever get the chance. Behold, the executioners of old. Some have turned into fragments residing in human bodies, and others are imprisoned eternally, leaving not a single shard behind. It's almost tragic, watching lowly prisoners like you act all self-important. Curiosity gnaws at you, doesn't it? Your interest in the outside world threatens to burst you at the seams.
Turf.
I'm starting to take a liking to this magic bottle lady.
Time is of the essence. We come to you, O three ancient lords, to request your assistance on behalf of the Academia. As for precisely what we need your help with, it's a long story.
All right, stop arguing, Croco. And Goatee, don't you start. What? But do you really have a way to answer them? You once answered the final question, Nefer, but the seal did not open. Unless, with the passage of time, you have found a new answer?
You could say so. When you first asked me what determines truth and falsehood, my answer was a liar's soul. Liars are the best at seeing through the falsehoods of the world. But if you want them to tell you the truth, you have to reach their soul.
I think that makes sense.
I found it quite compelling myself, and I told Nefer so. Unfortunately, it brought us no closer to liberation.
Well, that's simply because it was my answer, not the one King Deshret was looking for.
Can you guess which answer Al-Ahmar wanted?
Time, and that's not only the answer to the final question. All things wax and wane with the passage of time. Love and hate eventually fade into nothing. Current affairs are always fraught with conflict and controversy. You once described King Deshret as a proud man. I'd say that the prouder someone is, the more inclined they are to believe that only time is qualified to be their judge.
Time. Indeed. Perhaps in building Aru, our king was in fact attempting to reverse time, to bring love and hate, right and wrong, the rise and fall of all things. This is the most eventful day I have experienced in a long, long time. You have my sincere gratitude.
Are those 3 of the 7 pillars?
Turns out the statues were quite faithful to the source.
You 3 seem to be in good spirits.
Prison can help a person grow and learn to cherish what they have. Hello, Nefer.
It's good to see you, Thoth, the Ibis King.
Nice. Definitely puts my mind at ease, seeing you 2 getting along so well.
Should we maybe introduce ourselves, or...
Sure. I'm Sethos, the current leader of the Temple of Silence. This is General Mahamatra Sino, and this is the former Spantamad sage, Cyrus. But I'm guessing none of that means a whole lot to you.
Everything is equally new to us, in truth. We've been gone from this mortal world for longer than you can imagine.
Let's hold off on the introductions for now. We can always ask Nefer about you later. It'll give me something to talk about with my chosen disciple.
You're like a helpless parent. Gods and people of yore are not necessarily welcome in today's world. Self-awareness is one of my finest qualities. I thought I ought to share its fruits with you 2.
Is that so? Well, I think we'll take it in stride, just as we did with the 3 questions.
Fair point. I have to applaud your
And I must praise you for your wisdom. Now, state your wishes, young one.
I'm so...
Why, your tremendous accomplishments deserve a reward, do they?
General Mahamatra, what do you think?
I won't beat around the bush. Sumeru is facing a crisis the likes of which have never been seen before.
Every calamity throughout the ages has been connected to us.
Whatever is wrong with Irminsul, it severely affected the Dendro Archon.
The Dendro Dragon? I'm sorry, the Dendro Dragon is helping to heal the Dendro Archon?
Not a pep, surely. Not vicious, cruel, a pep who possesses no virtues aside from her basic instincts. Ah, good heavens.
Oh, I shudder to think what could have caused Lesser Lord Kusanali to suffer such a plight. Still, why would the Dendro Dragon lend you her aid? She has always held nothing but contempt for the Archons. I suppose she and Kusanali must have some history.
You can help us make history too.
A smooth talker.
Currently, no one can connect to Irminsul. We hope that by opening up Aru and making some modifications to it...
Unfortunately, Aru is an imperfect creation. King Deshret never managed to realize his full vision before his death. Besides, I hear your reasons, but to give Aru up over such would be...
The archaeological records clearly indicate that although Aru's construction took a long time...
This is by no means a threat. You asked us to state our wishes, and we have.
What do we think, my fellow old fogies?
Since you ask so nicely, naturally.
Naturally what? Are you for or...
I simply mean we shall do what comes naturally. You claim that you wish to open Aru. Know you then that the golden slumber created by King Deshret is preserved within?
We do. We understand the risks involved.
In all likelihood, the mortal world will never again be able to replicate King Deshret's work.
We are sure.
If your minds are made up, very well. Saint Shezepank, Saint Bennu, once you surrendered to silence and were buried with King Deshret. But now, we invoke the right to awaken you with our voices.
Saint Bennu, responding to your call. 3 kings detected. Initiating autonomous will.
Saint Shezbank, responding to your call. 3 kings detected. Initiating autonomous will.
Ah, Lord Herreshoff. What a long time it has been. I trust you are keeping well.
Then your trust in my well-being has long outlived your physical body. You have always opened with that same phrase, in life, death, and...
Al-Akhmar is long gone.
You're awake? Good. We are voting on whether to give the people of present-day Sumeru...
Aru is the pride of Al-Akhmar. Opening Aru requires the unanimous consent of...
Sumeru is currently in the midst of a major calamity. Let us not forget that while Al-Akhmar was a god without his people shall cease to exist, and King Deshret's greatest wish was to provide protection for his people. Let us then honor our God King's wishes as we consider our decision.
I do not mean to mock these proceedings, but what is the point of a unanimous vote when we know that the last of the 7 pillars, the Dendro Dragon Apep, will never communicate with us?
This will no doubt surprise your mechanical mind, and I have no intention of trying to persuade you it is true. But Apep is, in fact, healing the Dendro Archon as we speak.
Huh? Can someone attest to this? Do we have any proof?
I ask the 3 kings. Can any of you vouch for the truth?
Naturally, the Ibis King, Thoth.
What?
It was Thoth's disciples who revealed the truth to us. We need not debate its veracity. Simply let Thoth bear accountability. That...
Herreshoff, you diabolical fiend!
I awakened our former colleagues for you, supported your opinion, and backed your decision. What sort of fiend would do that?
I miss the days when Hermanubis was still around.
What are you trying to say? Is my word worth less to you than Hermanubis's?
Hypocrite though you are, Lord Thoth, you are humorous in equal measure. How could we bear not to associate with a character such as you? I, Saint Shezpank, approve the Goat King's proposal.
Since King Deshret is no more, we shall receive no reprimand for acting beyond our remit. Nevertheless, remember, the moment that Aru is liberated, the myriad souls residing within the Golden Slumber will return to the ley lines. And once the ley lines flow again, these souls shall in turn be received by Irminsul. To take this step is to bring the perfect afterlife created by our king to a permanent end.
We understand that well, and we have decided to proceed regardless. Furthermore, the contemporary human perspective...
King Deshret's creation is clearly a place of rest and peace.
Hermanubis' representative and the Dendro Dragon Apep made their choice ahead of time, while the Goat King, Ibis King, and Crocodile King have also granted permission to liberate Aru. By the grace of His Majesty, guided by his wisdom and will,
What's this? Are we under attack? No.
Here you are. Through the sands of time. I see you.
Father. Father, is it really you?
It's Jet's father, Jibril! That's right! He entered the Golden Slumber, didn't he?
I smell blood and sand on you. You've grown. Strong as a wild beast, and without shedding a tear.
You have to leave, don't you? Please, just answer me this. What should I do for you?
This meeting is a blessing from the gods. My soul, once imprisoned along with that of Semail, is finally free. I am truly grateful for the chance to see you again. That the dead should meet the living is itself a miracle. One brief, precious moment is enough. Enough to set my heart at ease. Do not weep for me, Jet. I know you will accomplish many great things in your life. You will go further and climb higher than I ever did. All I ask is that you take good care of yourself.
Father! Father! Father.
Hey, Jet. Do you want something to eat? Maybe it'll help you feel better.
I'm fine. Thanks, Paimon. It was just a little sudden. The chance to see my father again meant the world to me. He was trapped in the Golden Slumber for our sake. And now, after all this time, he can finally rest in peace. I'm glad. It's a huge relief.
You've grown strong, Jet. More than enough to fend for yourself.
Yeah. I'll leave the past in my memory where it belongs. My family, the good times and the bad. Goodbye, Father.
Ah, me, what a touching reunion that was. It seems we did a good deed today.
We three retainers, once imprisoned for our iniquity, are surely the least qualified to judge whether this deed is good or bad. Either way, Aru is open. Now you have your opportunity, and with it, whatever trouble may ensue. Although Aru was created by a god, human craftsmanship was nevertheless required to build the gate that connects it to this world.
As for your proposed renovations, we cannot determine which functions to keep or discard. Proceed as you see fit, but please entrust the task to your most accomplished scholars, or Bennu will be most displeased.
It matters not. The Ibis King shall be accountable if any problems arise. Ibis, you chose to take on disciples, and so it follows that you must accept the risks of associating with humans.
If I'd known you'd be like this, I would have locked all of you away in Aru, never to leave again for all eternity.
All of us? What does this have to do with me?
Vilify me no further. Scholars, since you have liberated Aru, allow me to present you with a gift. Using Aru's power, we shall install a defense mechanism at our king's mausoleum. You must be guarded even against Irminsul itself. This shall afford you some convenience. Unseen and unheard. From this moment forth, none may by sight or hearing perceive anything said or done within the mausoleum.
Amazing. And all this is achieved just with the power of Aru?
With technology from the heavens, the possibilities are endless.
All right. Well, that resolves the issue of confidentiality.
Why, yes. I've already contacted them.
You must be Sethos, the successor to the Temple of Silence.
Yep, that's me. Nefer, right? That's what I heard the others calling you. Judging by your outfit, I'm guessing you come from the desert too?
That's right. Started off in the desert, went to the rainforest, then went from there to Nodcry, where I work as an intel broker.
Huh. Well, this is interesting. You don't seem to talk about yourself all that much. Yet here you are, volunteering your life story to me.
Maybe I'm looking to make some new friends.
I like making friends too. I'm easier to talk to than Sino and a little more streetwise than Tainari.
Which is why you came over this way, giving me the chance to strike up a conversation with you.
Was I that obvious?
I think you did fine. You were mindful of my attitude and hoped to lure me in through sentiment.
Lure you in isn't exactly how I'd put it. I see it more as an invitation.
An invitation to what?
To put down your luggage. Lay down your burdens. To return to your homeland. And be truly welcome in the place you once felt so estranged from.
You're a more interesting heir to Bamun than I was expecting.
Since you're familiar with my grandfather, I'll assume you're aware of our situation. I'd like to make friends with you. And I think you'd be a great asset to us. Not to mention the power you and I both hold. Originally belonged to the same organization.
Aha. There we go. You must be Sethos, the successor to the Temple of Silence. Hello.
Yep, that's me.
That's right. Started off...
Huh. Well...
Maybe I'm looking to make some new friends.
I like making friends too.
Which is why you came over this way. I think you did fine.
Lure you in isn't exactly how...
An invitation to
put down your luggage.
You're a more interesting heir to Bamun than I was expecting.
Since you're familiar with my grandfather, I'll assume you're aware of our situation. Not to mention the power you and I both hold. Originally belonged to the same organization.
Aha. There we go. Now we're getting somewhere.
Do you hear that? Sounds like your teacher is scolding mine.
Huh. Classic.
Did you see her?
How can you tell? Do the Matra have information on her?
Some, but nothing telling. I'm basing it on the fact that she seems to be an expert liar.
A sixth sense for liars after investigating?
Yep. What about you?
A little earlier, in the corner. I noticed she gave some supplies to Jet and had her deliver them to the main group.
She's meticulous. And
besides, what was it you said? Making it to the top is no easy feat in any profession.
That's true. But she's not the only one at the top of her game.
Sure, but what's to guarantee she won't overhear us talking about her?
Don't worry. I have my methods. Sethos is distracting her.
Ah, I see.
As I thought. The so-called 7 pillars of King Deshret are as underwhelming as ever.
What do you mean? Not a fan of the boys' club?
As men, as individuals, and even as gods, they are entirely undeserving of my attention. Al-Ahmar once commanded me to select a king from among the people, so naturally my eyes will open only for one who is worthy.
Ugh. Can we talk about something else? It all sounds pretty complicated, and...
You think this is a mere story? Well, many would also say that the journey you shared with your father is not but a tale. My life, your life, they are nothing but stories. Little girl, it appears that you really have grown. In the past, you would have flown into a blind rage at my words, but now you are unperturbed.
Oh, it's nothing. I just feel like you're right. Getting all pissed at someone for telling the truth is pointless. It only makes me look petty.
This alone is proof enough of your growth. You're doing well, my dear girl. You're becoming ever stronger.
You think so?
Ah, fresh air. Oh,
Naturally. I have a sudden urge to stretch my legs.
I might have had some recommendations for you were this the past. But here and now, for someone who has just left prison?
I could not agree more.
You must be the ones tasked by the Academia with renovating Aru?
That's right. Good afternoon. I'm Kaveh.
We've met before. This is Thoth, the Ibis King, and everyone knows these two. Afternoon, gentlemen.
I've only ever seen these two in murals.
Ah, the paintings in the temple. They show us chatting, playing cards, playing chess. Precisely the activities we most enjoy, funnily enough.
No, only you enjoy playing chess. We were just humoring you.
I wouldn't go that far.
Back to the matter at hand. A preliminary assessment by the Academia indicates that this project requires expertise in various disciplines. The most capable minds in their respective fields are here before you.
The artisans who built Aru for Al-Ahmar.
I didn't know that. We'll do our best, of course.
Such brazen words.
No, that's not what he meant. Please don't mind him. He shares your sentiments, just not your,
I just think it's important to manage
Forgive my lack of courtesy. But we simply can't sacrifice our... Here's a first draft of the project proposal for your perusal. Please let us know if you have any requests. Normally, I'd have made it look a lot more visually appealing, but...
Naturally.
If my fellow ministers deem this meager display of...
Why are you so preoccupied with the ostentatious displays of respect to Al-Ahmar?
This is Aru's mainframe. Be reminded to use it with great...
We certainly will. Thank you for your assistance.
You may attempt to lay out punishment should you so desire, though I'm afraid it would be futile.
King Deshret always believed in humanity. Still, the reason that Aru's modules are designed that way is not so much because he trusted them.
Is that true? No wonder human artisans helped to build Aru then.
Naturally.
Have you noticed that the Goat King keeps giving superficial responses?
He understands the art of perfunctory speech. That's what earned him his position as the Minister of Ministers.
Excuse me for being blunt, but it sounds suspiciously like you're putting yourself on a pedestal and mocking me.
You're mistaken. And while there's nothing strictly wrong with making every conversation about yourself, it's not exactly a positive tendency either.
You? Whatever. I knew it'd be like this working with you. All right, let me past. I need to look at this console.
It's your job to activate it after all. Let's begin. Everyone, please proceed with the external checks and preparations as per the procedures outlined in the engineering plan.
Hello there, youngsters.
Whoa, the Ibis King came to life.
What do you mean, came to life? I've been alive the whole time.
You did say we could start our research, right? Are you having second thoughts now?
I've reviewed the proposal. The work you're planning to carry out on this grand device is ambitious in its scope. You have ample confidence in your abilities,
I wouldn't say I'm feeling hugely confident. But given how bad things are, I'd rather at least try something than sit around waiting to die.
You are the top scholars of your day.
Aru and the Akasha?
I thought the Akasha was the Academia's greatest technological accomplishment.
And you too?
You've read the instruction manual.
An instruction manual?
It used to sit on a shelf in the corner at the House of Dana, if the manual is to be believed.
What? But there are so few records about Aru anywhere.
Ah, but this is something you could not possibly have known.
I'm from Vahumana.
Precisely. And a large part of veracity is, I may as well tell you. In the beginning, Nabu Malikata, the goddess of flowers, descended upon Sumeru. The glory of the heaven was within her. She brought life, oases, and knowledge to this land. Then she created the Jinn, enlightened them, and ordered them to serve her. Two other gods also walked upon this land where wisdom flowed in abundance, and the three met beneath the great green trees. It was the first and greatest alliance. We should speak with reverence of this covenant between the three, which transcended both time and life. For they promised that in Sumeru, wisdom would be shared with all. All the great changes in Sumeru's history began with the goddess of flowers. For King Deshret's sake, she pried into the secrets of Celestia, and for this was burned to ashes by the flames of wrath. So grieved was King Deshret by her passing that he lost all interest in state affairs and devoted himself instead to the knowledge that she had brought back. It was after learning of the technology from that floating island in the sky that he first conceived of Aru. And so, the Akasha was inspired by Aru, while the basis for Aru itself came from Celestia's technology.
Well, if the two share a common technological origin, then connecting one system to the other is an entirely feasible idea.
Unbelievable. Have you no reverence at all for celestial technology?
No, I do, but there's no time for that. The schedule is too tight. Blame it on the deadline.
Perhaps you could try coming up with our cutoff dates.
You know what it's like having to turn around 5 different drafts in one day? I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy.
Yeah, also, Sir Ibis King, you don't plan on getting directly involved?
Yes, well, you strike us more as having come to give a popular...
Neither. Anyway, this sounds like far too much work for me.
Still, if Aru is so powerful, why didn't King Deshret use it for more ambitious ends?
Because it was never fully completed. King Deshret had grand plans, but he perished before they could come to fruition. In the beginning, his wish was to create something that could rival the very world itself. What he desired, she bestowed, and thus was knowledge brought into the world. Her courage and sacrifice had to be honored with the most splendid of monuments, or King Deshret would surely have deemed it a grave injustice. And that monument, built from knowledge and technology, etched with a sacrificial and courageous love. At that time, King Deshret said the following to the Lord of Dendro: "Since we share an eternal covenant, I shall never be your enemy. Remember, it is not that I lack the power to become the enemy of wisdom. Yet you and she have taught me much and shown me kindness. In the end, Aru was only used to store a portion of the souls.
So the point you're making is, King Deshret was both powerful and ambitious. You could see this as an act of mercy.
This explains why Aru was both a prison and a monument.
You have to be careful who you get involved with, or you invite all manner of misfortune. Love is the same. It is both a prison and a monument. All right, let us pause the story here for now. Seeing as you've been so diligent, I'll offer a little help. Who's in charge again? Is it you two?
Ah, yes, me and him.
Now then, close your eyes. Wisdom hides in the space between the tangible and the intangible. It is to convey the incommunicable through the simplest of mediums. By the power of King Deshret, I shall grant you a glimpse into the unseen secrets that lie at...
Where did this come from?
It looks more like some form of externalized...
Just as the Akasha allows you to access a greater range of knowledge, this is no ordinary mechanism. It reflects the internal structure of Aru. Whether you choose to increase or decrease, keep or discard.
Looks mechanical to me. Better let me handle it, just in case.
Turn around.
So that's where the elevator is. Obelisks were used to record important information in the ancient desert civilization. Hey, Alhaitham, there's some writing here I'll need. I've sent it to your screen.
Got it. It's a little blurry, but...
Take a look and tell me what it says. Oh, and I'll send any other similar text directly to you from now on.
Let's start with this one. Looks like cultural information from the age of King Deshret.
Words thrown together merely for fun.
Well, as long as you're certain that this is strictly private information.
It is
All right, well, I guess I'll start now. Found some more. Sending them over to you.
These are all reports about the Gurubad conflict.
Can we delete them?
I'd say so. Most of this information has already been...
What if there are details?
They'll just have to live with it.
Yeah, you're right. There's some other similar monuments nearby. Another monument.
Hold on.
You're still reading it?
It records the development and governance of the Oasis civilization.
Is it important?
Some of it. There was no way for me to read the whole.
What about the artisans' records? What do they mention?
They're speculations, mostly. For instance.
Sounds like pure mythology to me.
The records do emphasize that this was merely their conjecture based.
Even that got recorded?
Is that truly necessary? You won't be needing those.
No, the blueprints are important. I think that should just about do it.
It meets the requirements of the contingency plans, so we should be good.
I gotta say, it's the strangest. It's like drifting between life and death.
Chasing dreams in the most literal sense.
What happens if my spirit just floats away?
That won't happen.
All right. I'd better keep my wits about.
I expected that the outside world no longer respected the ancient gods, but even so, I do find the tone of these youngsters to be dreadfully impolite.
It should hardly come as a surprise to you. I remember you saying the same thing
I assumed that was just a one-off. I did not realize it was the norm.
Don't you think that young lad's matter-of-fact tone sounds familiar?
Surely a sign that he is a man of rare intelligence.
Oh, the rest of them, though, much better. The blonde-haired one, for instance.
Oh, really? Well, what about your disciple, Nefer? She's about the furthest from sincerity that a person can get.
And now you hit the crux of the issue. Thoth is spouting lies again. He cares nothing for sincerity. He likes Nefer simply because her personality is just like his. Thus, in giving his approval to Nefer, Thoth is simply validating himself. The rest is but smoke and mirrors.
You have some nerve saying that. There really is no helping you two.
Shut up, chess rookie.
What nonsense is this?
How can you engage in such banal chitter-chatter at a time like this? All three of you are insufferable. King Deshret was merciful, indeed, giving you a chance to be released from prison.
Ah, but Bennu, look on the bright side.
Oh. You've been here this whole time.
I miss Hermanubis.
And now you're avoiding the topic and talking to yourself.
Isn't this simply proof that our king supports my free will?
Oh, look at those two rust buckets. Suddenly, you two do not seem so bad.
Here. If being stuck together for thousands of years fosters no friendship?
Naturally.
How's it going? Are things progressing smooth?
Well enough, I suppose. You know how it is. The work itself is only half the problem. The other half is...
I'm sure the feeling...
As if. Turns out... I just think that some people never...
Agreed. Case in point, you didn't make sure I was out of your...
Old habit...
Actually, this is for your own good.
Naivete is another old habit of yours.
I had assumed that you both volunteered for this project, like us forest rangers.
Definitely not. We were assigned to it by lesser lords.
As much as I'd love to be doing normal work for normal clients, these Titan projects are all that's on offer right now.
I'm sure you've prepared yourself mentally, but I still feel the need to advise you to lower your expectation.
I know! Same to you!
Why don't you come help me with my forest patrols?
Good suggestion, but unfortunately, differences of opinion will always...
For once, I actually agree. There is zero chance of us ever resolving our differences. Zero!
But I'm glad to see you making progress.
Don't act so smug!
I feel like even I've made some progress today.
Apologizing probably makes it sound like
I was just kidding.
How's Kale?
She's studying with Nicole.
I wouldn't worry.
I know what you mean, but...
Kale will be okay. Have faith in her. Even we can see how much more confident and outgoing
On her own, too.
Does it feel bittersweet?
No, not yet.
She'll be fine.
Yeah, she will.
Traveler from afar, do you worry for the fate of Sumeru as well?
Whoa! It's so big the Crocodile King!
Greetings, Crocodile King.
Please be at ease. I'm just here to chat with you about Lesser Lord Kusanali.
Sounds like you really care about.
Yes, although to be exact, it is a...
Speaking of Nahida, Paimon was wondering how she's...
Wait a moment.
What is it?
I tried calling out to a pep, but there was no response. This can only mean that she is focusing all her energy on taking care of Lesser Lord Kus.
All the gods who served King Deshret seemed super surprised to hear that a pep agreed to help Nahida. Guessing she made a bad impression on you or something.
Are you aware of the history between her and our king? Then you are learned indeed. At the end of his life, King Deshret tricked the Dendro Dragon into swallowing him whole, leaving the Dendro Dragon despised King Deshret. Yet he outwitted her. Rather than bringing disaster to the land, he chose to deceive her, and the Dendro Dragon stands for the glory of a bygone era. She hated Al-Ahmar and what he represented. And so, her willingness to help the Dendro Archon through this crisis comes as a great...
Yep, Nahida did her a huge favor.
So Lesser Lord Kusanali put an end to the Dendro Dragon's many long years of toil. As much as she loathes the Seven,
Yeah, that's the sense we got from dealing with...
She is not incapable of coexisting with other living things. Well, all of this being said, I wouldn't expect too much from her if...
We'll keep that in mind. Anyway, how much longer do you think Nahida needs to stay with the pep? For all we know... I'm alright, Paimon. Huh? Was that Nahida's voice?
It seems the treatment was effective.
Since when do my deeds require your evaluation?
Here will do just fine.
I had no intention of taking you any further. One ought not expect greater generosity than they have earned.
You always hide your kindness away like an oasis within a sandstorm. Only those who make it through the swirling winds can know just how beautiful that oasis is. And
You dare appraise my being?
no, I'm expressing my gratitude. I want to thank you for sharing your precious life force with me.
Awake already? You are more resilient than I thought.
Pep. I feel much better. Thank you.
Gods and their gratitude mean little to me. I would rather you give me your assurance that the situation with Irminsul and Sumeru's ley lines will be competently managed. If I suffer any ill effects from the ley lines, you, as the god of this land, will be held responsible. And you would not enjoy being held to account by me.
I understand what you require, but I would assume this task even if you did not demand it. Sumeru is my responsibility. I must resume my duties as soon as possible.
A farcical notion. God of Sumeru, I hope you realize how unextraordinary your strength is.
And yet, maybe it is precisely what defines me.
A god of wisdom is not meant to rule by force.
Then hold steady. We go forth.
Well, I'll be. Is that a pep? Do my eyes deceive me? Of all places, the Dendro Dragon has decided to visit the mausoleum of King Deshret?
I see that after all this time, El Ahmar's menagerie of ministers remain as vile as ever.
It's a pleasure, Dendro Dragon. Had you arrived but a little sooner, you might have attended a meeting of the Seven Pillars.
What a nauseating thought. You are not the first insects I have had the displeasure of dealing with today. A swarm of them tugged on my tail on my way over. Goodness knows what hovels they crawled from. Why do all the creatures of this world remain so lowly after all this time?
What did you do with them?
I cast them away. What would you have me do? Keep them as trinkets? Boer, this is where we shall part ways. To be clear, I do not wish to see you or anyone else here ever again, unless absolutely necessary.
Then I wish you peace as you return to your dwelling place.
It matters not to me. Simply refrain from bothering me again.
A force to be reckoned with. At times like this, I feel glad that she has no interest in any of this.
Hold on, just hold on, okay? We're almost there. We made it! Huh? Wait, that voice! It's... Uh-oh, I'm gonna fall! Well, that's a relief. A pair of safe hands indeed.
The Dendro Archon's familiars. They are the last thing I expected to see here.
Huh? Wait, what are the Aranara doing here? Obviously I was worried about the Dendro Archon. I've been supporting them with my Pari powers the whole way here.